Walk into a university physics department and ask about the laws of the universe, and you'll get a conversation about mass, velocity, and empirical reality. If you open up social media or step into a New Age wellness retreat and search that exact phrase, you will hear about manifestation, energetic frequencies, and the power of human thought. We have two entirely different groups of people, a quantum physicist on one side and a spiritual philosopher on the other, using the exact same vocabulary to describe completely incompatible frameworks of reality. Over the centuries, humanity has actually written two separate rulebooks. One dictates the mechanics of spacetime, and the other dictates the human experience. Mixing them up leads to a highly confusing view of the cosmos. To understand how reality actually works, you first have to recognize which rulebook you are reading from at any given time. The first rulebook is the scientific framework. These are the mathematically proven rules governing how physical matter and energy operate, scaling all the way from tiny subatomic particles up to massive galaxy clusters. It starts with Isaac Newton's laws of motion and gravitation. He proved mathematically that all mass attracts other mass, and that every physical action triggers an equal and opposite reaction. Then we have the laws of thermodynamics, which show us that energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed. They also mandate that the universe steadily decays from order into disorder over time, a process known as entropy. In the early 20th century, Albert Einstein expanded the rulebook. His theory of relativity proved that gravity is actually the curving of spacetime caused by mass, and he showed that mass and energy are perfectly interchangeable. Working on a different puzzle, James Clerk Maxwell mapped out a set of equations defining exactly how electric and magnetic fields interact to generate both electricity and light. Finally, physics dives into the subatomic level with quantum mechanics. Pioneers like Werner Heisenberg discovered that reality's smallest building blocks operate on probabilities, meaning you can never precisely know both a particle's position and its momentum at the exact same time. Every single one of these scientific laws shares a defining trait: ruthless objectivity. They dictate the behavior of the physical universe, whether a human being observes them, understands them, or believes in them at all. But humans are conscious creatures. We actively search for meaning, purpose, and connection, needs that mathematical equations and cold thermodynamics simply cannot satisfy. So we built a second framework. Rooted in ancient Hermetic philosophy and heavily popularized by modern New Age movements, the 12 spiritual laws are intrinsic principles believed to govern personal reality and human interconnectedness. First is divine oneness. Separation is an illusion, and everything is connected. The law of vibration posits that thoughts and matter vibrate at specific frequencies. Next, action and consequence. The frequency you emit attracts matching experiences back, and every action demands a corresponding karmic reaction. The rest of the framework focuses on perception and balance. Laws governing relativity, polarity, rhythm, and gender suggest that challenges are merely tests of perspective, and that life operates in natural, opposing cycles that you must learn to navigate. Unlike physics, these spiritual laws are entirely subjective. They operate as a psychological toolkit, giving people a structured way to process their internal emotional landscapes and build healthier relationships. When you put these two frameworks side by side, it becomes clear they aren't actually in competition. They survive next to each other because they serve completely different human needs. The scientific laws of physics are descriptive. They map out our physical coordinates in the cosmos and define exactly what biological and chemical components we are made of. The spiritual laws are prescriptive. They offer human beings a sense of personal agency, a psychological safety net, and a behavioral guide for how to live a fulfilled life. If you eliminate either rulebook, the human experience is left incomplete. We require objective, hard facts to survive, build infrastructure, and cure disease. But we rely on subjective meaning and purpose to maintain our sanity and our social cohesion. Ultimately, to fully grasp our place in the cosmos, we look to science to explain the universe around us, and philosophy to explain the universe within us.